Hello and welcome to Two Tiers Deep, the Women's Cricket Weekly Show, with me, Rosa Simpkin.
And me, Chloe Hill.
I'm the journalist, working in all the tiers of women's cricket.
And I'm the cricketer, currently playing in the game.
We saw a gap in the market, mainly from a Tier 2 coverage perspective. So we thought, why not start a podcast? To start with, we probably should explain something to you, which otherwise, none of this will make any sense. Last year, the ECB announced Project Darwin, a project to hand the game back to the 18 counties, split into 3 tiers. Tier 1 is the professional level, consisting of the Blaze, Durham, Essex, Lancashire, Hampshire, Somerset, Surrey and Warwickshire. I could go into the depths about why the Blaze aren't knots, but we'll leave that for another time.
And Tier 2 counties are made up of Derbyshire, Glamorgan, Gloucestershire, Kent, Leicestershire, Middlesex, Northamptonshire, Sussex, Worcestershire and Yorkshire.
And then Tier 3 are the national counties.
Before we get started on today's episode, I'd like to give a shout out to our leading partner, Her Game 2. Her Game 2 Cricket partnered the Rose Talks Ball podcast and all the branches of the show, including Two Tiers Deep. Her Game 2 aims to spread a message of hope and equality throughout sport. Initially only in football, they have recognised that discrimination towards women and girls in sport is not limited only to football, so they have expanded into other sports, including cricket, where they can support, encourage and inspire women in the game. If you'd like to find out more about the work they are doing, you can find them online through their website, hergame2.co.uk/cricket, or you can find them on social media by searching for Her Game 2 Cricket. Thank you as always to Her Game 2 for their support of the podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Two Tiers Deep podcast. And we've got another very busy week for you and also a very exciting guest coming up. But first of all, we have some cricket to talk about. Chloe, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Enjoying having a quieter day. It's been don't know about you, but it's been a busy week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week and this weather is just not weathering, is it? Like, get me back to Dubai at this rate with the sun, or bring the summer on with the cricket season now.
The Welsh rain has reached you.
It's horrible. It's just been constant all this week, and this morning it's just non-stop. Not enjoying it.
Certainly not. But with the way of the cricket season, it's much sunnier in other places. And we've got quite a lot to talk about, given it is February. I was about to say it's January. It's definitely not anymore.
No, the longest month has gone ever so quickly to start the new year, and we're already in February. If every single month goes as quickly as what January is, we're going to be in 2027 with a click of our fingers.
We really are. And with going into 2020, no, I don't need to talk about 2027. Am I wild?
No. We'll talk about the 26 cricket season first.
We will talk about the 26 cricket season first. I mean, I think we should open with some English cricket, Chloe, because that's why we're here. And we've had a bit of an intrusive thought regarding the World Cup qualification, because everyone, Scotland and Ireland, have both qualified for the 2026 T20 World Cup in England. How exciting!
How good. I mean, it's going to be the closest home World Cup that Ireland and Scotland are ever going to play. So, yeah, it's so exciting to have England, Ireland, Scotland, and even the Netherlands all a part of this World Cup. And, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Honestly, when they qualified, I think everyone was just so pleased for both teams. The US were catching up slowly in the table and putting pressure on Scotland, but they pulled through with a vital win against them, and it was absolute scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was rooting for the underdogs for USA to qualify for the World Cup, but I also think we also wanting Scotland to be there to join Ireland and England. Yeah, I mean, so many domestic players out in the World Cup now. We've got so much to discuss and talk about.
We really have. And on the note of domestic players in the World Cup, we were putting our heads together, as we do before we start recording the podcast. And I think we just realised that some of our counties might be in a little bit of bother with the amount of players they will have out at the World Cup. It's super exciting. Obviously, with it being a home World Cup, you want those players to have those opportunities close to home, but wowzers.
Yeah, I think we're certainly going to see maybe quite a few debuts in Tier 1 this season, um, especially in the Blaze and Lancashire. I think we were just going through the list a minute ago. Blaze's number of players that they're missing is ridiculous. Obviously, you've got the Bryces, the sisters. Kirsty Gordon obviously is returning to play for Scotland, so Blaze are going to lose their captain. Obviously, the England players of Natsira Brunt, Tammy Beaumont, and Amy Jones. That's 6 players already out of their playing 11 week in, week out. So, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
I mean, at that point, you're really struggling because whilst the Blaze do have a big squad, as far as county cricket is concerned, they have a 20-strong squad, which is massive. Those are all pretty fundamental players. I mean, the Bryces are at the core of everything the Blades succeeds in the county game and also previously in the regional game. So a prospect of missing them on top of your England players, you're probably not going to enjoy that phase of play.
Yeah, you've got some serious characters in that Blaze team. Obviously, you've got the England captain in Natsira Brunt. You've got the Scottish captain in Catherine Bryce, and you've also got the Blaze captain with Kirsty Gordon. That's 3 key senior players missing from their Vitality Blast campaign. And yeah, I think they're going to have to fight extra hard come the Blast campaign and see how they perform and get on. But I think they sort of put themselves in a little bit of an underdog position for the Blast competition.
And it's not just the Blades. I mean, newcomers to Tier 1 Yorkshire, who are already going to have it tough coming up from Tier 2, they'll be missing Stir Callis, Hannah Rainey, Rachel Slater, Sarah Glenn, 4 incredibly core players to them. Also up north, Lancashire, Asa Lister, Darcy Carter, Megan McCall, Sophie Alcaston, and potentially Emma Lamb. You know, it's adding up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think even if you look at some of the other county squads, there's 1 or 2 players in them from mainly Scotland. Obviously, we don't really see the island players come over in our domestic comp. If they do, that overseas players. So, yeah, obviously Lancashire potentially will be losing Gabby Lewis, but I think maybe we can just discuss the exciting announcement that Lancashire have just announced this morning for their Vitality Blast campaign.
Lancashire, we love you. We have a curse as far as the podcast is concerned that all of the big announcements come as soon as we recorded. And you announced this 10 minutes before. Meg Lanning, Chloe, the Meg Lanning, is coming to play the Vitality Blast for Lancashire. What a signing.
I think I've said it on previous podcasts, but since she stepped down for Australia, she has just become this phenomenal cricketer. And seeing how she's gone about her game in in the franchise competitions, yeah, if I'm Lancashire, I'll be clicking my fingers and trying to get her just like that. And it's so exciting that they've got her, and I cannot wait to see her in our domestic competition.
She is honestly different gravy, Meg Lanning. And also, can't be cheap. So fair play to Lancashire for making that investment. She's also at Manchester Supergiants, isn't she, for the 100? So Old Trafford will be seeing a lot of her over the summer.
Yeah, she's very much making Old Trafford her home, and what a place to make your home. So I'm certainly looking forward to it, and maybe I'll be supporting Lancashire a little bit more come the Vitality Blast. Who knows?
I mean, I'll definitely need her, that is for sure. We also had an announcement from Hampshire after we'd spent about 10 minutes talking about how Hampshire were building for this year. Poppy Tulloch has signed an extension, and it's great to see that they're building the young core of their squad.
Yeah, Poppy's such an exciting talent. I've seen her come through the pathway at Berkshire when I've been coaching at Bucks, and I have physically coached her on the Southern Vipers EPP about 4 or 5 years ago. So she's such an exciting talent, a strong bowler, strong seamer, and she can hit the ball very hard. So yeah, one exciting contract extension that is for her.
It really is. And we talk about kind of the slight downside of Scotland and Ireland qualifying for the World Cup for the domestic game. Don't get me wrong, amazing for the international game. It's great to see the two of them in the competition alongside each other, as previously, due to the size of it, it's been one or the other. But we were talking about what that means potentially for our tier 2 players, and the fact that younger players in those squads could be getting some loan call-ups to tier 1 throughout the year.
Yeah, obviously we know tier 1 sides have got tier 1 academies, and those academy girls are loaned out to tier 2 and making their stand in a tier 2 side and showing what they can do. So I certainly think we're going to see some promotions from tier 2 players to making their debut in tier 1 this summer. And I think that's what it's all about, this Project Darwin, is giving the players opportunities from each different tiers to sort of reach the top and get to the top. And I guess that's a little bit what we spoke about with Cesca Sweet last week when we were talking about her contract signing at Hampshire, how she's sort of gone through each tier and she's now reached the top into tier 1. So yeah, hopefully we're going to see more of that this summer, and very, very exciting to see.
It really will be. And I mean, it shows how much the player pool has deepened off the back of Project Darwin, as previously players who were playing county cricket, you wouldn't back them to get emergency promotions into the regional game. But now we're discussing tier 2 cricket as a whole pool of 9 teams of players who can step up when we need them to.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just seeing the level of tier 2 last year and obviously playing in it, and we saw teams compete against a strong Yorkshire side where they were all contracted. So we're seeing players do it against contracted players who are training week in, week out, compared to some tier 2 sides, I guess, at the moment, who maybe train once or twice a week whilst managing a full-time job or education. So yeah, the talent pool has certainly increased over the last few years, and I'm so excited to see some new players pop up in a professional environment.
It is super exciting. And I feel like we always have a lot to talk about as far as the English game is concerned, even though, as I say, it's February. But let's go international, because Chloe, it was a pretty big day yesterday. It was the 2026 WPL final. And I'm going to be really honest with all of you for a second, probably too honest for a cricket journalist and player duo. Neither of us had any idea it was a WPL final. That's a disclaimer. I've dropped the bomb. Yeah, we have no clue.
I mean, why is a final on a random Thursday afternoon? To be honest with you, I actually didn't. I know we've spoken about it in previous podcasts, saying about the WPL with like the whole AI and all of that. I thought there maybe be a bit more of a shout out that it was the final. I actually didn't see anything. That's probably why I didn't know it was the final. But yeah, slightly poor on our half. But we're here to talk about it, and we're here to discuss some key moments. Which team won? Obviously, we've done our research in the end, so it's all good.
I mean, I have to be honest with you all. When I was sat on my bed doom scrolling Instagram, we all do it, and I got an RCB champions graphic. I was like, "You what? Yeah, we sure?" Yeah, bad admission to make as a women's cricket journalist. But it's fine. We're not all perfect, and we do have our champions, and that is RCB. And what a final it was!
Yeah, when I saw that scorecard after we realised that the final happened, what a final, by the way. Let's just discuss women's T20 cricket about 10 years ago. Were they scoring, or was we scoring above 120 runs around a ball? Now we're seeing constantly 180, 200, 250. What a final to have 200 place 200, taking it down to the last over. And I think we should certainly give a few shout outs to some of the players.
We definitely should give a few shout outs. For those who don't know, RCB won by 6 wickets and chased down 203 with 2 balls to go. It was Raju Yadav hitting 2 fours in a row in the last over that took them over the line. The nail biter you need as far as a final is concerned. Chloe, would you like to give some shout outs?
Yeah, so a few shout outs with Delhi Capital with the bat. Obviously, Lizelle Lee's been strong at the top throughout the competition. Was this her first time in the WPL as well? Laura Wolver, an excellent 44 off 25 balls. Jemima Rodriguez, 57 off 37. And Chanel Henry, 35 off 15. Now, one thing I've started to notice more and more with women's T20 is the strike rate. Every single one of the Delhi Capitals batters was striking well above 100. And this is exactly what we want to see as fans, spectators, cricketers. Seeing batters strike well above 100 and make the game exciting and just show how much the women's game has actually progressed over the years. Just looking at the amount of sixes as well in one innings, 8 sixes in one innings from Delhi Capitals. And I think one thing about the WPL is the boundaries. They haven't actually been as small as what we've seen in previous franchise comps. They've kept them at a fairly decent size. So I think it's just showing that the game is evolving, the women are getting stronger, and we're clearing these ropes. Do you want to talk about any of the RCB bowlers in that innings?
I indeed do. It probably wasn't the bowling performance you'd be hoping for in a final. Only Lauren Bell had an economy lower than 9, and she had an economy of 4.75. And I do want to touch on Lauren Bell, even though she didn't take any wickets, because she has been dubbed by Indian cricket fans as the dot ball queen. And I think it's safe to say that's been pretty accurate. She's had a mental campaign with ball in hand.
Yeah, she's been superb with the ball in hand, and just seeing how she's progressed really over this last 2 years. Obviously, what was it, over 3 years ago, she was making the changes to her bowling actions actually in a match over a short period. And now seeing it all come together with her being able to control the swing, in swing, away swing, have those variations. Yeah, she's looking like a force to be reckoned with the ball, and really well deserved to be the dot ball queen of the competition.
And it's safe to say that Indian cricket fans have taken her in with open arms. For those who don't know, before the tournament, Lauren Bell had 175,000 followers on Instagram. She is now at 2.1 million, which is a pretty... You can't complain about that, can you?
The power of cricket in India is phenomenal. Just the love and passion they have for cricket. Basically, cricket for them is like their religion. And it's absolutely fantastic to see. And on one hand, it can be seen as absolutely crazy, and on the other hand, it can be absolutely great for the game. So, fair play to Lauren Bell for growing her social media that quickly in the space of a competition. But moving on, I guess, to RCB's chase. What a chase, may I add.
It was something else. And do you know what made me really happy about it, Chloe? Smriti Mandana, the queen of Indian cricket, who's had a real rough run of it off the pitch in the last couple of months. 87 from 41 balls. That's a 212.2 strike rate. 212. She hits 12 fours and 3 sixes. She was batting for nearly an hour and a half. That is mental. Give her her flowers. She is phenomenal.
What an elegant batter to watch as well. Like left-handed, her inside to out, over cover, over extra cover. Yeah, her game just looked complete yesterday. I say that as if I watched it. I went back and watched the highlights, obviously, because we both missed it, as we've just announced. But yeah, no, went back and watched the highlights, and her game, her shot selections, yeah, she had a clear plan from the start, and she certainly was not walking off that pitch about winning the title for RCB. And can we just give a shout out to Georgia Vole? Her cricket over the last 2 years, she has sort of just appeared out of nowhere for Australia, and she's obviously been picked up in these franchise competitions. We've seen her in the 100, now we've seen her in the WPL. 79 of 54 balls, striking at 146. Again, another exciting young player for Australia, dominating on the big stage.
She's massively matured as a cricketer in such a short space of time. I mean, previously she was an opener who you viewed as coming in, whacking a few boundaries, getting out quite quickly. Whereas consistently, she is building vital innings for whatever side she represents. We also should shout out Nadine de Klerk and Raju Yadav. They also scored crucial runs at the back end, both not out, hitting them to their title. But there's actually a Delhi Capitals player who I'd really like to give her flowers, and that is Chanel Henry. What a player, by the way. And she's not one that immediately jumps to everyone's brains when they think of international cricketers because she doesn't play for Australia or India. She's a West Indian international and consistently comes in with those crucial. I mean, in this game, 35 off 15 not out with bat and 2 for 34 with ball. Yes, she was on the losing side, but that's a pretty phenomenal performance.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's been key for them with the bat and ball in previous games leading up to the final as well. Yeah, to see her as well perform on the big stage, sort of representing the West Indies like that, what a player, and ultimately what an all-rounder as well.
100%. The one other thing we probably should touch on is the curse of the Delhi Capitals has continued. They just can't get over the line in finals. I mean, you're putting on 203 runs in a final. And yeah, it was tight. But what is it about this team that as soon as they reach the final hurdle, they can't quite get there?
Yeah, it must be gutting and disappointing for them every time to keep reaching a final and not getting across the line. It sort of reminds me of the last year of the regional game when I was with South East Stars, that we made both the T20 final and the 50 over final, and the year before we made the finals day as well, and we kept just missing out, and it is quite a tough pill to swallow, especially when you're performing so well throughout the competition and you get to the final and you just can't get over the line for one game of cricket that you've absolutely smashed getting to that position. Yeah, it's just cricket. It's just mother cricket and the luck of the draw, isn't it?
It really is. And we probably should say Jemima Rodrigues, first season as captain. I think people were both sure and unsure about her appointment. What a captain she has become. The way she rallies behind and brings her team together is unique. And as far as India are concerned, when you're thinking of who could be their next captain, she's probably rising as quite a serious candidate alongside Mandana.
Yeah, I think it just proves those two teams being in the final under those two captains just shows the strength and the leadership that India have got to come in the next 2 years. Once maybe when Harmanpreet Kaur, I guess, does decide to step down, or maybe India decide to have a captaincy change. But yeah, you're certainly in safe hands with Smriti Mandana and Jemima Rodrigues.
You are indeed. Massive congratulations to RCB. Massive congratulations to Lauren Bell and Lindsay Smith, who were both a part of that RCB team. It's great to see English players performing on the international stage. Lauren Bell really did perform. She was the tournament's 7th highest wicket taker with 12 wickets, and we've already spoken about her dot balls, a 5.52 economy. For context, I'm currently looking at the top 10 wicket takers. All of the others are in the 8s and 9s. And Lauren Bell's there with 5.52. That's something else. The other English player who really performed despite her team not being at their usual level was Nat Sivabram. She was the 3rd highest run scorer with 321, and of course that high score of 100 not out, the first 100 in the WPL. And it's safe to say that the tournament delivered once again.
Yeah, it comes around this tournament. But when it comes around every time, the standard of cricket is just phenomenal, and it's getting better and better each year, and certainly attracting some of the best cricketers from all around the world. And it's so good to say that the first 100 scored in the WPL was by an English player. So yeah, massive, massive shout out there to Natsira Brunt, and I guess also a big congratulations to Lindsay Smith and Lauren Bell, and enjoy that big payday as well.
Defo do. I hope they're planning to treat themselves.
100%, 100%. Our next guest on the pod is the pinnacle of Two Tiers Deep podcast. She covers across all 3 tiers from Tier 1 to Tier 3, and recently has just signed a contract in Tier 1.
She scored the second most runs in last season's Vitality Blast League 2 with 296, and also scored over 300 runs in the One Day Cup League 2. You also may recognise her from our 2 Tiers Deep awards, where she picked up the Tier 2 Players Player Award.
And in her Tier 3 side, in 6 innings, scored 238 runs with the highest total of 80 not out. And also, she can be very handy with the ball. I'm delighted to welcome onto the podcast Cesca Sweet. Cesca, welcome to the pod. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you for having me on. How about you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, really excited to have you on. We were just talking earlier about you are sort of the pinnacle of 2 tiers deep, because you've gone across Tier 1 to Tier 3, covering all 3 tiers, which is so exciting. So first and foremost, do you want to discuss a little bit about the 3 different tiers that you're coming across? Obviously, Tier 3 with Berkshire, Tier 2 with Leicestershire, and Tier 1 now with Hampshire.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting going between Berkshire and Leicestershire last year. So the year before last, I was with Berkshire full time, and that was really good because I was only with Berkshire for a year, but it was just wonderful, and it was really close to where I lived because I was used to play for Sussex, and that was quite a long trip every time. So it was just nice to be close, and everyone was so lovely there, and they really supported my move to Leicestershire because it was a really late move last year into. I think it was a month before the season started, so they were so supportive, and I love the coaches there as well. And then Leicestershire was, it was a very, very late decision to have me on, just because I went to trial really late. I didn't actually think they were open to trials, and I found out that they were, and then I was just like, may as well go and try. And then luckily enough, I got asked to stay in the squad, which was nice. And so it was really cool. Leicestershire summer, and then dotted around with Berkshire as well. I just wanted to get loads of game time in, so I think I played 4 or 5 Berkshire games as well. Did all right in some of them, didn't do so good in others, but that happens. And then I did some challenges and 2 stuff as well, so it was a busy summer, but it was brilliant.
And then obviously just touching on the Tier 2 stuff with Leicestershire and obviously Berkshire. I mean, you say you only played a couple of games. Didn't you play 5 games and score nearly 300 runs for Berkshire?
Yeah, I definitely got lucky. I think we had a couple 20s on a couple different days, which I think I did open. It was actually really fun. It was a really nice deck as well, and it was boiling hot. I think I did. Yeah, some games were okay. They were good. I was pretty happy with them. It was just really nice to have the opportunity to play with a different squad instead. And I think I was having a bit of a tricky run with Leicestershire at the time, so I just needed to actually use the middle of my bat sometimes, which was really nice. So it's always a nice change to swap between squads, especially when everyone's so welcoming.
I mean, you'd say lucky. A lot of people would probably say skill was behind those knocks. I mean, obviously, was the first season of Project Darwin last year, and it was quite a big change for everyone involved in the game. How did you find it?
I think it was a brilliant idea, just because I hadn't played in stadiums or anything like that, so it just puts you in on a platform to actually go and when we played at Headingley, that was nuts. I mean, we lost, but that was fine. But it was just such a cool experience, and and we play. I know Middlesex played at Lords, and everyone's just all the Tier 2s are playing at such cool places that I think it was a great idea, just because I know that if it wasn't without Darwin, I think I'd still be at Berkshire, I think. Yeah.
I mean, with Leicestershire, they appeared to be incredibly supportive of you guys last season, and I'm pretty sure you played the majority of your games at the county ground. How was that?
That was amazing. I think some teams didn't get to play at their home ground every time when it was home. So yeah, we did. And it was really cool actually. It was just to have like a home ground that's like a stadium was really, really nice. And like all the staff there are wonderful. And it was just nice, and especially because I go to Loughborough, so it's such a close drive. That's the main reason why I actually moved there, because it was just a lot closer than Berkshire was, especially when I'm at uni. So yeah, and the training facilities there are so nice. It's like everything about last year was just playing on much better grounds than I'm used to. So I think it actually worked in my favour a bit, because I'm used to a little bit more of quite tricky wickets and getting out to like full balls that have bounced over your head. So like it's I think it was a really cool experience just to like play on pitches that pros would play on. It was quite cool.
And in terms of your cricketing journey, obviously you didn't come through a regional team or a regional academy before the change of Project Darwin. I guess, how did it sort of spark the drive and desire to want to play tier two and above? And obviously, recently just signed your first tier one contract with Hampshire.
Yeah, I think I've literally only just got the spark when, like, last season was definitely my best by about like 1,000,000% than my last couple seasons, because obviously, so I was age group for Sussex, and then I got, what's it, released, or I just got like I didn't get selected for the main women's squad a couple of years ago, so I didn't really know what I was going to do. And then I played with Berkshire. I didn't have the most amazing season, so I was just like, okay, I'll just go and play for Leicestershire. Hopefully, they'll let me in, and then I can just be closer drive. I can train more, just because like I hadn't seen too many people become pro like after not being in academies, and I didn't have that much of a cricket knowledge to know if they had or anything like that. So um once I started actually doing like getting some runs for Leicester against decent bowling, especially if when I was like opening T20, I actually started getting a lot more confidence in myself, and realized, I think it was literally like mid-season like last year, when I was like, okay, maybe there is like a pathway into pro if I just keep playing well, especially with this whole Darwin um county stuff, because it just, and envy play and everything, like everyone can see everything everyone's doing more than I feel has been before. So I just said that if I just keep getting runs, hopefully I'll just be seen. And then with the challenges stuff, that was cool, just to, because that was the first time we played against like Blaze, like an actual pro team. Well, they're twos, but like half of them were pros. So that was really cool. I don't know, it was just very shocking. Like I'm still quite confused about the Hampshire stuff. It was like, it was really cool to trial there. And yeah, I'm still in a place of shock. Like I've only trained with them for a full month now, and now that I'm back at uni, I'm just going to be doing Fridays and some Saturdays with them. But it's been a great start, and I'm still trying to get over the fact that I'm actually a pro. So yeah.
Oh, well, I guess obviously from both of us, big congrats on your tier one contract. Obviously, in terms of challenges that you just spoke about, that's sort of where I first met you, and sort of seen you go about your cricket. You had quite a good debut as well for the challenges. First, can you talk to us about how the challenges came about to you, and I guess how has it helped you going forward with cricket as well?
Yeah. I think it was the week before that Blaze game that we played in, that I got a message from Elliot, and I'd heard about challenges, but I didn't like it because some of my mates were in challenges, and I think they might have recommended me to him or something. I don't really know how that worked, but he said, "Do you want to come play in a game against Blaze?" It was literally, I think it was the week after, or maybe 2 weeks after, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like that's scary, but okay. So yeah, I mean, I went, and then shockingly, I was opening a 50 over game with Kempy, and yeah, it just, I think what is great about challenges is it just puts you on that platform that you're not used to, but it just gives you a chance to perform in front of pros, but also pro coaches, and a pro environment. And I think it really kick-started kind of my motivation, because I don't know what score, I think it was like 80 odd, and I was like, wow, I actually just scored that many runs. That's like, I was just very shocked, but it just, yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence going back into the season. And then I only did one other challenges game, but I think it did kickstart like the two stuff that I did, and I think it really started that spark that I like, all that drive that I wanted to keep doing well. So I think it's a really good idea. So yeah.
You've mentioned quite a lot there about Loughborough, and we know you're a student there, and it's also a bit of a hub of talent for women's cricket. Do you want to talk about how it is being a part of that squad with a lot of players who are playing either professional or tier two and tier three cricket?
Yeah, it's got 3 squads, and that's different to I think a lot of unis, and it's because the facilities are so nice here, and you get so much with the performance environment and also the ones and twos. Like everyone can go in and train 2 times a week. So yeah, it's a big hub, and then we've got like I think like 6 pros now in the performance squad. So it is like a really good place to come to uni for cricket, I'd say, not being biased or anything, but like it is good. And so this year is actually my first full year in the performance squad. I've been in like the seconds, but it's called the first for some reason, like the second squad the last 3 years. So I've actually not been used to the main squad environment. It's the weirdest thing. So this is why I'm more shocked than anything that I'm a pro, because I was literally in the seconds team for my uni literally last year. So yeah, it's really good, and you get a really good S&C, and you can go in whenever you want to, and you can also get time when no one else is in there and it's empty, which is amazing. So that's really good because it's Loughborough is actually bustling with people. So yeah, I think it's just a really good environment and insane facilities that you can just make the most of, I think, and it will really help before summer.
I mean, it's definitely safe to say your rise has been pretty rapid, but you had, before signing for Hampshire, agreed to join Glamorgan, and we spoke a little bit before the podcast. Do you want to clear that up a little bit? Because I feel like there's some confusion from everyone involved surrounding that.
Yeah, I do. Basically, so ages ago, I think it was in September or something, I got approached by the Glamorgan director of contracts asking me if I wanted to move from Leicester to them, just because they were going to up to pro next year. And I was like, oh my God, that means I could be a pro by next year if I do really well. So I immediately was like, yes, like I adore everyone at Leicester, but I thought I was just going to have to do that because they go up next year and they're wanting to make a pro team in the summer, and so I thought that was the best way to become pro. And so we had those conversations, and then I had the conversation with Leicester to move, and then I was posted on their social media saying new signing, and this is the most confusing for other people because I've actually never signed anything with them. That's why it's confusing. So anyway, I had these conversations with Amy, and I was like, oh, now Hampshire have approached me about like a trial period. And she was really supportive of it. She said, yeah, absolutely, go for it. Like, we'll be here if anything happens, if anything doesn't happen. So yeah, we support you in every way. So I went, and then there wasn't too much conversation between Glamorgan and I when I was trialing there, because it was only over like a month or so. Well, 7 days of trials, but it was over a month or so. And then when I finally realised, got offered the 2-year contract, I spoke to Amy, and she basically, it's because it was more of a shock that I got 2 years than 1 year or anything. So now it's like it's a conversation to be had with Amy about how much I'll play in the summer, as in to loan with them, because I would have loaned with them if I got like a 1-year contract or anything. I don't really know how it works, but now that I've got 2 years, I think because they're trying to get their pro team for next year, I don't know how much I'll actually play. But yeah, I think it's just a conversation to have about where I'm going to loan and stuff like that. But the main thing to clear up is I never signed anything with Glamorgan, and the only thing I've signed is the Hampshire contract. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. But I did leave Leicester for Glamorgan and everything like that. That's why I'm not in their squad or anything. But yeah, so I hope that clears up some of it. I did waffle there, but yeah.
No, I think that makes complete sense, and hopefully the people listening as well will understand your reasonings. And yeah, I think it's so difficult when there is actually only one tier that is contracted. Obviously, and I know from tier 2, you don't actually officially put like a pen to paper properly. You're in and around the squad and named in a squad, and then you're able to go and play some tier 3 stuff, which you did last season as well. Just obviously playing across the 3 tiers, are there any standout players that are up and coming that you could give a little shout out that we could keep an eye out on? I'm putting you on the spot here. It could be anyone from Berkshire, anyone from Leicestershire, Glamorgan, Hampshire, Anyone from Challengers that you come across who you think deserves a little shout out?
Okay. From Berkshire. To be fair, I know she's playing well in the academy at Hampshire at the moment, but I know Eliza and also Molly. Really bad at surnames, but I hope people know who they are. A lot. Oh my god, what's the surname? Anyway, those.
What do they do? What's their main skills?
Yeah, really good seamers, like really pacey, and they've netballed actually at Hampshire to be fair. But I think they're outstanding talents, and I think they'll easily get a contract soon. And obviously Shristi as well from Berkshire, but they're more in the academy at the moment. And I'd say, to be fair, at Leicestershire, a lot of like talent in that squad. I know we didn't actually. I think we I don't know where we ended in the standing or something. Maybe middle, maybe more at the bottom. But there's loads of talents there, and everyone's like Flora, Dinky. Everyone like it's a young team, and everyone's got so much talent. And I think they could like a lot of them should have hopes of going pro as well. And I'd say from where am I now? Oh well, to be fair, at Glamorgan I've actually not even trained at Glamorgan. So I wouldn't know, but a lot of people from like Challengers. I mean, it's everyone there wants to go pro. So literally shout out to all of them. But I think like Molly Adams, Amelia Kemp, I think they're gonna probably get contracts very soon. I mean, it's just obvious. So yeah.
Nice. We'll certainly keep an eye out on those ones, and especially on some tier 3. We love a tier 3 shout out, especially from myself as well, like representing Bucks growing up. So yeah. And then I guess the biggest thing as well, playing across all 3 tiers. I did it last season, apart from tier 1, but obviously being involved in the regional stuff. What do you think is the biggest difference, either in equipment, coaches available, pitches between all 3 tiers? Like, what is the biggest difference?
I'd say it's literally like all of that. It's the pitches, and it's a lot of it is the coaches. Like I know when I was at Berkshire, to be fair, there was another assistant there, but a lot of the time they're like having to drop between players who want to do like different skills, different warming up. And then in Leicestershire there was 2 or 3, and then it kind of just goes up by 1. And then at Hampshire there's like a million coaches there, so it just grow. And like I don't actually know what the pitches will be like in tier 1, and obviously not expecting to play a lot, so it's fine, but yeah, I'm just guessing that they'll be really good. But the tier 2, between tier 2 and tier 3, I think there was quite a difference in pitch, because obviously we're playing in stadiums in tier 2, a lot of stadiums actually, and a lot of it was just flat tracks, really really nice. And for Berkshire some of it was, I don't know, it was like gorgeous places to play in, and it's really nice actually to play sometimes in a different environment and not with like seats surrounding you, so that was really nice. But a lot of excuses from me with the Berkshire stuff. But I think the very last game of the season, or I'd finished my Leicester games and I wanted one more game just to like finish it off. I got out for nothing, so that's what I blame it on. the pitches. But so there's some really good players everywhere. So yeah, I think just the main difference would be pitches and coaches, I think.
Just in terms of coaches, obviously, yeah, I see that with my coaching as well, across the tier 3 stuff. But do you want to give a shout out to your Berkshire coaches? Obviously 2 coaches or 1 coach is spread between a squad, compared to now being in Hampshire where you've got 6 to 8 coaches. I guess at your beck and call whenever you need them.
Yeah, exactly. And at Berkshire, TJ, he was the assistant in the first year that I was there, because Paul, the main coach, was there, but he's actually moved to Surrey. And I think TJ's done a really, really good job, like stepping up, being into the main coach role. And he's wonderful, and he's so lovely and supported all my different moving all over the place. So yeah, he's brilliant, and he welcomed me back in when I wanted to get some more cricket in, like immediately. So that was wonderful. And then Leicestershire, easily just amazing coaches, and they welcomed me really late into the winter. And I think I'm just like, I don't think I would be obviously like a pro without Leicestershire, because they just put me on that level. So I'm utterly grateful to Anand and Frankie for believing me and putting me on that platform where I didn't think I was ready, because I had a lot of conversations with them about not being ready. But yeah, it just made me do it anyway, and I'm very grateful that they did. So yeah.
I mean, I spent a little bit of time around Leicestershire, and Anand and Frankie were clearly very good role models for you guys, that's for sure. Looking ahead to, I was about to say next year, we're definitely in 2026, to next season, do you have any goals and ambitions that you're hoping to achieve?
Uh, I don't really know. I think I would obviously I would adore to play in the tier one in the main squad, but uh, I wouldn't know who I would replace going in. I think just it's such a stacked squad, especially batting wise. Um, and I think any opportunity I get, I'm going to try and make the most of it. But at the moment, I'm just finding my way around. I'm still getting lost in that stadium. So yeah, I think I know I'll play a lot of two stuff. So I do wanna take that opportunity to do well in the two stuff. And I think there's quite a few. I think Hampshire do quite a few two stuff, so that would be really, really, really good. And then hopefully, if I can, I'll do well in the loan stuff. But if I can't loan or anything like that, then I'll be a good water carrier. But yeah, it's just nice to be around that squad, and yeah, and, yeah, I just can't wait to keep getting to know everyone, and yeah, just see how it goes. I'm just going to take one training session at a time.
Can I just say, people underestimate how easy it is to get lost in a cricket stadium. I always get judged for this as media going between them because they're a circle, but they're quite big, especially Southampton. It's a big ground.
It's a huge ground. I remember the first time I went to trial there. I'd gone all the way, so the main entrance with the main car park is there, but one car went in, and I was just like, Dad, follow that car, because I thought that was just where we would go. So I went all the way around some random car park, and I couldn't get in the gate, and I had to call the coach to come and get me. To come and open the gate. It was the most embarrassing thing. And I was like, that is a great start to my trial. So yeah, I agree. They are very, very easy to get lost in.
I mean, before you go, we always like to have a little bit of fun with our guests, and we've got a little bit of a quick fire round for you, starting with a bit of a curveball. If you could invite any four celebrities to a dinner party, who would they be?
Okay. I would invite obviously Tom Holland. Obviously, that's my main guess. And then boring, but I need to, because he's coming, and because I don't want any jealousy. Zendaya is going to come as well. I can't have any cult anything going badly there. And since I was pretty young, I've had a crush on RDJ, so he's coming. Yeah, he's coming along. And then who's my fourth? Probably Kevin Peterson. I don't know why that's coming in my head, but I've watched so many of his. He's got a new YouTube channel, and I love all the videos. So that's just run in my head rent free. So yeah, he's coming along as well. That's an interesting four guests, but yeah.
If you could build your perfect cricketer in these categories: technique, strength, mindset, and skill set, what would they look like?
What? So a different cricketer for each.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the first one? Technique.
Technique.
Oh, technique. Amelia Kemp. That high elbow. Fire.
Give her a little shout out with Northants. Love that.
Yeah.
Strength.
Strength. Ellen Watson. She absolutely whacks it.
Yeah, she's a strong girl as well. Mindset.
Mindset. Ooh. I would say Becky Brooker, because she has a very strong mindset, and she always helps me out. If like in Leicestershire, she was so wonderful. Whenever I'd had a bad game or anything, she has, I don't know, she's just got, she doesn't nothing's like a big deal or anything like that. Like, it's just on to the next game and it's fine. So yeah, she's calmed me down a million times. So definitely Brooker.
Nice. And skill set.
Skill set. Ooh. God, I was about to say Kempi again, but I can't say her twice because she's a bowler now. Have you seen her seam?
She's an all-rounder, genuine all-rounder.
Getting poles. Right, I can't say Kempi. God, skill set.
Anyone from the international stage, or love it that you're shouting out tier players? I love that.
Got to shout out my besties from the international stage. God, this is why my cricket knowledge is so bad. I actually can't even think of anyone. Let me think. No, I will. I'll think of something. Annabelle Sutherland.
Genuine all-rounder, love that.
Yeah.
Bit like yourself.
Exactly.
And then, what is the most chaotic thing you have ever seen on a cricket pitch?
Oh gosh. Chaotic thing I've ever seen on a cricket pitch. There was one thing that was, I don't know if it's chaotic, but the uni team, we were on a tour in Sri Lanka. And one of the girls was at the top of her run up. And there were loads of like crows nearby, and she genuinely couldn't bowl because all the crows were flapping around. And she's just chaotic because she couldn't run in. Every time she tried, that's the first thing that came to my head. But a lot of chaotic things happen where, like you hit the stumps and then it's gone for a four. I think that happened a lot at my old school, where I think we threw more overthrows than we did like actually get it into the keeper. So I think there was one game where I think it genuinely went for 35 like overthrows, and the opposition had only scored 12. I think it was genuinely that bad. Maybe 15. I'll give the Oppos 15. Like it was. I remember that we'd scored more overthrows than they'd scored runs, which is hilarious.
I mean, strong throwing techniques.
Yeah, just too strong. Get out the gym.
Literally. Okay, so who is one teammate that would fundamentally not survive in the wild for 24 hours?
God, I can think of so many. I'd say Alice Bird from Gloucestershire, but also from Loughborough. I feel like she wouldn't survive 5 minutes, so she should just end up in a ditch somewhere. I don't know.
And then last one, if you could ban one thing in cricket forever or change one rule, what would it be?
I'd change the LBW as being something. Like I get out LBW all the time and I don't want to do it anymore. So that's probably not very, very right, but I've never bowled anyone out LBW, so I don't care. So yeah, I've been out LBW so many times, and that probably wrongly as well. Let me just no, I'm joking. But probably the LBW rule. Not a fan.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Anything else, Rosie, you want to think of? If not, that's pretty much everything all covered.
It really is. It's been a busy one, but absolutely smashed it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Sorry if I waffled quite a little bit, but yeah, thank you for having me on so much.
Absolutely smashed it. And no swearing, which is good.
Yeah, I'm actually proud.
Yeah, not once.
Not once at all.
Not once. I mean, what a fascinating conversation with Cesca there.
Yeah, I mean, what an exciting character and an excited personality as well she was. And I just absolutely love the honesty and transparency, I guess, between the whole situation from tier 3 to tier 1 and her journey of how she's got there.
I think we can both agree that we're very excited to see her out in action this summer. And on that note, that's all we've got for you today.
Amazing. See you later. And hopefully next week, maybe another little guest for you. We'll wait and see. Thanks for listening to this week's 2 Tiers Deep. If you'd like to find me, Chloe Hill, you can find myself on Instagram with a new Instagram page covering this podcast at 2 Tiers Deep CH. Or I'll pass you over Rosa to find herself at
Rosa Talks Ball. Or if you have any questions, you can contact us on rosatalksball@gmail.com. And please don't hesitate to get in touch.